Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to the first ever Logic Breakdown session on this channel. I thought I might do this just for a little bit of fun, and you guys can kind of get an insight on kind of the stuff I do when I make a song. So, obviously, this one is Farewell Tom Scott, just published it recently on my YouTube channel, and you might be thinking, why the name? I mean, I know he's leaving it whenever. The only reason I named it that was because the inspiration actually came from the video. I'm gonna play it. Hopefully, I don't get in trouble for doing this. But I just want to play you what I heard that inspired me to write this.
And you know what? Just this once, for the first time in 10 years, that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So that was it. So it was just those two chords right there, which if I go, we got like an F sharp major, maybe an add 9 in there, and then it goes from that into kind of an E major kind of feel. And I heard that and I immediately thought, what could I do to add on to that instead of just going back to that F major, which is what they do. So I instantly stopped watching the video and I ran upstairs to the studio and I just played this right here on the piano. And I was like, well, that's really good. And it was just that quick. I mean, most of the time, stuff like that does not happen. So this was one of those songs that it just kind of flew together, and I was really proud of it. So the first thing I did, jumping into Logic here, if I zoom in, is I recorded a MIDI piano and audio data from my electronic piano together to kind of give it more of a rich feel. So we'll listen to one of these. Yeah, we got that really high note. And so I just play the chord progression together. And that's what it does for the very first part. And then we get a little bit further in there and I add a nice cello to kind of fill things in. Just to kind of keep it nice and fresh. And also right here I added just a plugin, Celeste, from Logic, just to kind of give it a little bit of a bright color. Play that together. It just makes it sound a whole lot better. And down here I got absolutely the magic of almost every song I make is Subsonic Boom, which is just an audio sound inside of Logic that comes with it. Specifically Subsonic Boom number 6. I don't know why, it's so good. It's so rich. That's amazing. So I added that to go right on top here. Give it that big boom, like, oh, something's about to happen here. So that's the first part of the song. It starts out really slow and whatnot. So we have that cello coming in nicely just to, add some more color and keep it interesting and keep it flowing. And then it holds on this one note. And I think this is just this is a Spitfire audio plugin. That's not right. I think it might just be, I'm pretty sure it's, let's see, where is it? Cello Moods. I couldn't tell you which one it was, but it's one of these, and it kind of moves on its own. So if I play a note, it sounds really good. And see, it kind of flutters. And all the notes do a little bit different things. Like, I go from playing a B or something. Yeah. So it's a little bit different. So I went over here, played that high note. Well, yeah. So I just got lucky that it sounded right. Yeah, that C sharp up there. It kind of flutters a little bit. And then we sustain it. And then here's the magic sauce of this entire song is these studio violas from Logic. I rarely ever use like a lot of external plugins except for stuff like that's free, honestly. So I'm gonna turn this arpeggiator off. So what it sounded like, without the arpeggiators, bum 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 bum, and I just played that on the piano. And I think there's staccato. Well, there's spiccato actually. It doesn't save any of the stuff I do, unless, it saves it in the MIDI data, but not over here. So just raw without the arpeggiator. Bum 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 bum. It's really plucky. And I was like, it's alright, but I want it to, have more drive. So I just added an ARP and turned it on random and variation 3. And it's amazing. It makes the song so much better. It keeps it pumping, keeps it flowing. So have those rise up. And then we build into kind of basically, I guess you might want to call it verse 1 or something. So we have the pianos doing kind of a very simple pattern. Yeah, it's just So really, when I did this, I first just played the chords straight, and I was like, I don't know, I really wanted this whole song to be one big build up to the chorus, and to do that, it has to have motion. It can't just go from 0 to 100 in the chorus. It has to build up. So it starts out really melancholy-ish in the beginning, but the more we ramp up, the more motion and movement all we have leading up to the chorus, so that the chorus pays everything off, and it makes you want to wait for the chorus and what's next, because it keeps on building and anticipating. So yeah, the pianos here are just doing so they're just kind of doing that thing back and forth, flowing through the chords and whatnot. And then we have the violas obviously doing the same thing. Then of course they're going to have some variations based off the chords I am playing. And then obviously fill it in with just some pads. Really keeps it nice and full, so it's never like a dull moment. Oh, that's really nice actually. Whoa. Wow, that's really nice. Let's go through here and see what we have. We'll start with pad 1, or Analog Waves, one of my favorite pads. Also, it's built in directly to Logic. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's nice. And I think this might be like some pulsating bass. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that really keeps things pumping and flowing. That is nice. Then this might also be some more bass. No, okay, it's not. Yeah, this Analog Waves, Classic House Sequence, Unstable States, Airways, and Breathy Vox, all of that is all plugins, and all built in. Sorry, not plugins. They're all built into Logic. Oh, that's really nice. I keep forgetting everything I've put into this song, because everything that I finish, I just kind of put to the side and work on the next one. Here, let's look into the next one. Look at the next one. Listen, whatever you're doing. Oh yeah, that one really gets it nice and full. It's got a lot of like air. It's almost kind of like breathing. Oh yeah. I got one more breathy Vox, if it wasn't already breathy enough. Yeah, so that's taking kind of the lower tones, and this one's taking the higher tones, and then add all that together. Yeah, the bass is really nice. It sounds like a really narcissistic and arrogant people like, yeah, I made a really good song, but like, I'm actually enjoying this a whole lot more than I thought I would. So the pads just ebb and flow throughout and add lots of color. So if we were to listen to this, let me turn all of this off. If we were to listen to this with just the piano and the strings, I can guarantee you it would not sound as full. Oh my goodness, yeah. It's just there's not enough for the piano to take on filling everything up. So when we add everything, oh my gosh, so much better. So much better. And then I also had some Celeste in here, just fiddling around. I think it took me like one take, so it's definitely not probably all in the right key. I probably definitely hit some sharps and flats in there. Yeah, just kind of doing like my own little arp, up and down, up and down. And this one's not quantized at all. I wanted to keep it a little bit fresh and real and kind of keep it like unexpected, I guess. So yeah, about all of this was maybe one or two takes, unless I made a really, really bad mistake. But if I go in here and look at the MIDI data, yeah, it's none of it's on the lines or anything. It's not quantized, which I think is nice. It keeps it interesting and not always, robotic and like mathematically perfect, because realistically nothing is like that except theories and math itself. Well, I don't know what in the world I'm talking about. You get the idea. It gives it more of a human feel. So all of that in essentially verse 1, and of course you cannot forget subsonic boom. It's so nice. So nice. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And now we're going to basically head into verse 2, which adds more violins, or violas, I mean. These are an octave higher, just to add a little bit more. And then we have kind of a cello lead, which is also the Spitfire plugin. Oh wow, that's nice. Yeah, so I only played one note there, but the automation in it allowed it for that really natural slide down, which made it sound real enough, and I was like, that's really good, and I'm gonna keep that. So with that all together, now we're just really getting close to the chorus. We're trying to build up. Ooh. All right. Now we're right there, right at the cusp of the big grand moment of the song. And right here in the last two measures, I added this really quiet really quiet built-in, or not built-in, but audio effect that is, comes with Logic. There's lots of great sounds in here, and it's like really this like clicky, like kind of mechanically, like a mechanically something like twirling around. It really sounds like one of those things, like it's got this piece of wood and you crank it, and every time you crank it, it slides into one of the grooves and makes like a. So it kind of sounded like that, and it gives it a percussive feel without having drums, but it really keeps it like fresh and light. It's almost like a hi-hat, but next level, I guess, because it's so quick, it's so fast. Yeah, that's really nice. And so it was really quiet to start with. So we have that one measure break. The only reason I do like a measure break is for two reasons. One, it's super noticeable if I recorded this in sections, obviously. So I recorded the first part and then verse 1 quotes, verse 2 quotes separately. It wasn't all one take. And if you do that in the chorus, or leading up to the chorus, it's really it's noticeable that, like, oh, he stopped recording there and then he started recording the chorus, especially on audio tracks like with the keyboard. You definitely hear that like that little click or pop sound, and nobody likes that. And another reason is to you kind of forget how much was building up to the chorus, like how loud and how much adrenaline was in it, and then you get that one measure break, and it's kind of like a factory reset, and you're like it's supposed to be getting bigger, but you don't know how much bigger, because like decibel numbers here, we're hitting max of like, I don't know, negative 2.6, maybe -1, and then we hit the chorus and we spiked to 2.3. And if I were to do that without this break, it would be super noticeable, going from like and that really throws people off. But when you give them this break, they know, oh, it's time, it's a break time, so I know it's going to build up. But they kind of forget how loud or quiet the last section was, and so they just expect it to be a whole lot louder, and it gives the chorus a really nice punch. And also here I added a bunch of audio effects also in Logic, just to kind of give it a nice big swoosh and swell into the chorus. And also I kind of realized after the fact that I have an airplane takeoff in here and a race car, and I was like, that might be something Tom Scott would do. He might familiarize himself with airplanes and cars, because he's a science nerd. I'm sure there's some science stuff related to both of those. So listening to that together with the little ticks, we got a lot of stuff in there. So we have the airplane takeoff, and that kind of goes from right to left, maybe left to right, I don't know, left to right. Yeah. And then we have Arcade Dream cymbal swell. Believe me, I'm not the one who names these, I promise. And then we have the, like, I guess it's an F1. I mean, it's probably not. It's probably just a sports car, but race car. It does sound like Formula One, though. And then we have a boom sound, which is different than the subsonic boom, because there's like 60 of those, and there's only like 7 of the subsonic ones. Whoa! I did not realize. Did I EQ that? Oh, no. I tuned it down 36 cents. No, yeah. And then I fine-tuned it down 50, which I think is the farthest you can go. That may not be cents. I forget which one is which. Well, either way, it's not what it is normally. Let's listen to what it sounds like normally. Let me scoot this all the way up. That's a huge difference. And then with everything on, and then that with the subsonic boom, and then everything is really, really, really nice. Really gives it a satisfying kind of tension and release there for the epic chorus. And then we've got these really quick hi-hats going again. It's really nice. It keeps everything nice and tight. And then we've got big chorus, which is just a repeat of the beginning 4 chords that I came up with, which is the. Yeah, so that. So here, I don't think we address or add any new instruments. No, we don't. But we have a little orchestral cymbal rise. And then we have all our same pads. Oh no, we add a whole lot more violins. We keep all our big pads. Those are churning and pumping and whatnot. All the good adjectives. What in the world's going on? I always like to this is just me, but I always like to select the actual like MIDI track or audio track, and I think it'll select the actual region, but it doesn't, and it messes everything up. Bow, down, 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 down. It really sounds like there's a mellotron in there somewhere, but there's not, I promise. So we've got these Bloomsbury strings, which again is just another Logic built-in string patch. So that comes with violins, 1, 2, violas, and cellos. But I think I'm only going low enough to hit the viola and cello, which is fine. And then we've got our analog waves, classic house sequence, unstable states, airways, breathy vox, all of that good stuff. It just fills it in so much, because honestly, strings and piano and anything else will not cut it. I mean, other stuff will cut it. Maybe if we like held strings, kind of like what we do here. But for this song specifically, it really lacked filling and richness and everything else. So I had to add some of that. But the main components, got the piano, which is playing, actually not the melody. I thought it did. Oh, it might be this one. Yeah, it's this one playing the melody. Bow, bow, bow. So we got some big like boom, boom, kind of like piano hits, but on every beat instead of just the one. So I think it's something like, let me just play it. It's like. Something like that, just to keep it, pump, pump, boom, boom. Keep it up and fresh, and I'm saying the word fresh a lot, but really it is all about movement and keeping the adrenaline, in a sense, going, so you don't lose the drive and the momentum and the force that you have building up, because you're building up. Everything in the song is leading up to the chorus. And if you have a sloppy and, floppy chorus, well, it's like all of this build up for no one wants to hear that. No one wants to go. Because we already did that in the beginning, so it's already been established that we're going to build up from here because I've heard it throughout this entire song leading up to right now. So, it's my job as an artist, whatever, to give the people what they want. And they want a big chorus with a lot of momentum. So we got, pumping strings. Again, they're probably louder. Yeah, they're louder. Dun 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 dun. And then I think we have one that's an octave higher. Yep. Dun 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 dun. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strings. These all, I believe, were Spitfire. Yes, these were Spitfire Labs. But again, Spitfire Labs is free. I highly recommend it. Got some good plugins in there. Okay, so we have 3 of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 of the 6 are doing the lead melody, which is, play that for you right now. And they're all playing the exact same thing. The only reason I have 3 of them is so I can add more, like, obviously more volume and loudness without having to, like, over compress it and get all this clipping. Because if I were to play it with just one of the 3, it's really fighting to be the thing you hear. But if you add, 1 or 2 more, all of a sudden you can hear it much better, and it's not like a really off-putting thing where it's over compressed and everything is at max red line. It's all really distorted and clippy and crap. So that's just a really easy technique to do. And then these 2 are doing maybe MIDI's lying to me, but they might be doing the same thing. No, they're doing a counter melody. Or some more undertones, per se. Probably I'm not even using that word right. That's pretty nice. I like that. And then that all together sounds like this. And then right here, I was like, okay, so I just repeated it, and I know it's not going to be that too much of an issue for people listening to it, but I just wanted to add a little more color and pop. And I was just scrolling through the endless amount of audio loops and tracks and stuff in Logic. I keep saying that. Yes, it's in Logic. And I found this thing, Abstract Atmosphere 83, and it just sounds perfect. So nice. It's really, really great. Did I even put EQ in it? I thought I put some, or at least some reverb. Maybe not. It's so good. It just kind of tickles the brain. It makes it feel all good. I could listen to that all day. And then just with everything else. Oh, it's so good, so good. And then here at the very end, I use a orchestral kit. It might be. Let me find it, because orchestral is a bunch of just all of this. It's that one. And so it cuts off really quick. And it kind of leaves it unresolved a little bit, but overall it's satisfying enough because you've just heard the chorus twice, and I'm gonna throw some really cool music facts at you. Hearing things twice is enough to essentially like satisfy your brain, like, okay, I confidently know what it is I'm listening to, and I feel good about it. It feels resolved, it feels complete. And if you do it once, your brain might be like, let me hear that again, I'm not sure about it. But if you start to do it 3 or more times, your brain's kind of like, all right, I've heard this enough, let's move on to something else. So you kind of tune it out. But I did it twice, and honestly, I don't like big, like, boom endings. It's not that I don't like them, I just have a hard time executing one that sounds good enough. And so I was like, alright, I'm just gonna cut it off really harshly. So I threw that symbol up there to kind of give you the expectation of a big boom crash ending, but then we just cut everything off except for, of course, the bread and butter of this entire piece, the violas. Oh my gosh, so good. I'm very proud of the ending specifically. If I'm proud of nothing else, it's the ending. And I think it really does kind of resolve it, because the studio violas were the first thing you heard when we kind of got into our rhythm. And that sets the rest of the song in motion, basically. I mean, sure, we have this piano part, but it's not driven at all. It's just kind of floating around on the keys. So we go back here to the end. And I have this really subtle, little less than subtle, little more than subtle, I mean, timpani build up, just one quick tension and release. Of course, you gotta end on that subsonic boom, baby, so good. Then I have this antique clock, which actually starts the song, and then these couple cello, like boom, boom. One more time for a good measure. Boom. So that's about it. Of course, there's some, extra, like, little stuff here and there. That's the chorus, and then we got some extra, just some risers leading into verse 1. Because I only did that to hide the stitch, essentially, from me stopping recording at verse 1, leading into verse 2. And then at the very beginning, I was like, I really don't like starting like this with just that one hit. So I added this antique clock because I thought maybe Tom Scott likes antique clocks or something. And I think I had to pitch it up 7. Okay, so transpose is going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's going up every half step, like on a piano. And then fine tuning is the synths and all that stuff. So what that would normally sound like without the little ding. Actually, the ding is a part of this one. Yeah, well, we know how that turned out. So then, and that sets the entire song in motion. So this is actually a pretty small project, only 45 tracks. I've made some bigger ones. This one was an oddity because it really only took me like maybe 20-30 minutes to write the whole thing, just because it I don't know, there's something about those two chords that, let me go over here, something about just hearing the and then automatically in my brain I just added those extra 2 chords, which is, if you're wondering, I'll tell you the chords. So we have an F major 7 add F major add 9, and then an E add 9, which is E add 9, and then B major add 9, and then B major 7, and then we go up to D major 7, and that kind of turns into like a B minor 6 over D, which very like a popish kind of chords would be like, that the minor 6 of any key, like C major, the minor 6 is A flat. So you could, if you want to have like the 4 chord, which would be F, you have the minor 6 in the F. So kind of like the heartbreak romance chords, kind of. But I totally messed it up. Stuff like that. The 1 to minor 4, usually pretty good chords. I don't know, something about this song. It really, really came quickly to me, and I mean, this is one of the most fun songs I've ever made. Probably one of the quickest ones I've ever made. I'm really proud of it. I hope you guys, enjoy it, obviously. I also hope you guys enjoyed listening to me blabber for who knows how long it's been. If you enjoyed this, If you enjoy this, let me know and I will make some more. That's all I have for you. I will see you guys later. Bye-bye. That was not a very satisfying bye-bye. Bye-bye.